Well, from what I'm hearing, Quirkyloverosee, she got out of about 3 hours the documentary, The Escaping Paradise Big Girls Wanted. She was hyping this up for weeks now, and she's in the trailer. They don't tell you the price you pay, all that. I guess the price you pay is out of 3 hours, Rosie got, they said, less than 5 minutes worth of screen time. I can only imagine that Rosie is probably so upset about this. Now, personally, I didn't get to see the documentary. I mean, around here, if it don't come on an antenna, if you can't get it by an antenna, I ain't watching it. I don't have no streaming, none of that. Times are tough. But anyways, yeah, they said Rosie got less than 5 minutes worth of screen time. And this is what kills me. They labeled Rosie as a feederism expert and content creator. A feederism expert. What qualifications do you have to be an expert in feederism? I'm quite curious about this. I mean, and then they said Rosie's whole subplot was just she was giving her perspective on Zio, as a viewer. She just made this seem like, she was this vital part of this documentary. Just, she Rosie is the perpetual victim. And, she's claiming to be a feederism expert, but Rosie is the first to tell you she wants no part of feederism, no part of that community, but she's trying very hard to insert herself. I mean, going so far as to call herself an expert. I mean, come on. I mean, as I've said it before, and I stand by what I say, it is quite obvious that she does make feeder content and caters to that community. I mean, people can argue with me all day long, but when she is eating and rolling her eyes in her head and throwing her head back and all this, and trying to look sexy at the camera while she's eating, that's what she's doing. But anyways, now they said, and that's what she gave her, she explained what feederism was, and, like I said, gave her perspective, like on Zio, from the viewer's point of view. So that was it. Rosie had no part, basically, in this documentary. Now, another thing they're really talking about in this documentary, from what I've seen, is Stefan. He has twin boys, and he has not seen these boys because they said for his mental health. It will harm. Apparently, the reference is it will harm his mental health to see his twin boys. That just tells me everything I need to know about this man. I don't know, and I also did not know that there is 20 different allegations against Stefan. So, I don't have Instagram either, but I did get to see somebody I was looking at over there on YouTube, and someone did put these on there. I think it might have been Moon Moss, or it was Bizzy, Bizzyb. Anyways, it was one of them two on YouTube. Check both of them out, they're great. But anyways, Rosie did it on her Instagram stories, and it appears she's sitting on her toilet. Yes, you can clearly tell it's a bathroom, and it looks like she's sitting on her toilet making this video, right? And she says, even though she's not a victim of Stefan, she is a victim of SA, and she has a right to be in that documentary. She just wishes that people cared that she's a person with trauma. She's trying to get all teary-eyed and trying to get all emotional. The performative shit like she does. And she says, she claims that Girl World is trying to make her look like a monster. No. The thing is Rosie is trying so hard to be a victim, and she is trying so hard to insert herself into this paradise stuff. Just like I said, calling herself an expert. She has been trying and trying and trying and trying to insert herself into this, and now she's her trauma is discredited and this and that, and then she goes back to talking about her internet stalker some years ago over Skype. She was blackmailed, and this is all trauma. And don't forget, the adult comment, the adult content she made also caused her trauma. Rosie wants to be the victim so bad. She wants people, oh, poor Rosie, I can't believe you went through that. You're so strong, Rosie. And she claims about all this therapy and how she got over everything. Obviously, the therapy didn't work. Because if you are still, almost every single time we see her, she's talking about her victimhood and her trauma. I mean, she should just change her name to Trauma. Hi, my name is Trauma. Because she acts like that's what defines her. That's the only thing that makes her, is her trauma. And I'm a victim. I'm a victim. My name's Rosie Victim, Victim Rosie. But I don't know, I'm curious. Did any of you get to watch the documentary? I'm curious to know, was it good? Because they're saying it was heavy. It was real heavy, the stories that these women told. And Rosie also claims there's a whole lot of other stuff she'd like to say, but she's waiting to make sure that everybody sees the documentary. That's what she's just waiting to see what people's opinions are. And she's trying to take the temperature of everyone to see if she can get out here and complain more and try to insert herself more into this story. That's what it is. But yeah, if you've seen it, let me know. Tell me your thoughts on it. Tell me your thoughts on Miss Trauma Rosie too. I'm curious to know.